Okay, welcome back everybody. This is part 2 of my wee little ride in the Scottish Highlands. How are you all doing out there? But first, all the credits. I am turning into a real old grump, you know what I mean? Because when I look back on all the TV programmes and everything, I always think, oh yeah, TV was loads better then. We had loads better music, we had loads better films and TV shows. I am just turning into a miserable geriatric. You know, and I have to say there is a lot of crap on television. I mean, I don't even bother watching Comic Aid anymore because you just sit there and I don't watch once. It's just a bunch of idiots. Nothing they do is funny. You know, when you look at the old comedians and the comedy series that we used to have, you know, Porridge, Open All Hours, 40 Towers. You know, there's nothing that makes me laugh anymore. These new comedians, they just, oh, I don't know, I just don't get it. Don't get modern comedy at all. You know, but it's not all bad. I mean, you start talking about some of the TV series, and there's still some good TV series on, you know, when you think about like Killing Eve. What an absolute amazing TV series that is. Peaky Blinders, then you've got your Netflix things and your Prime video series, Game of Thrones, Honey, lots and lots of good TV still. You know, we tend to look back with rose-tinted spectacles and think everything was better, but you know, when you do look at it, apart from the comedy, one of the things that I do notice a lot is that when I was younger, we knew a lot more about music and the history of music, you know, and it's surprising really because we had no internet. And yeah, I was born in the beginning of 1970. And by the time I was 20, I knew everything about 70s music, 60s music, 50s music, rock and roll era. And you talk to people today, you know, you talk to young'uns today, and half of them don't even know any music from the 90s, yet alone going back any further than that. You talk about the 80s and they just haven't got a clue. And you know, it's as though the internet, there's all that information, that wealth of music on there, but they tend to just stick with the one genre they like and they don't move out of it. And obviously I'm tarring everybody with the same brush here, but you know, the majority of people I've spoken to, they just do not have a clue about any music other than their era. And it's sad really, and I don't understand it because it's so much more accessible to them than it was for us. You know, for us to hear, I mean, I was a mad mod, so yeah, we had bands like Madness, all the ska band specials and the Jam and things like that. But if I wanted to listen to bands, I mean, a lot of the bands I listened to never made it to the charts. So I would have to go to record shops and ask for the records to be ordered, and you know, I'd be on mailing lists of fanzines and things like that. Whereas now it's all at the fingertips. You can type any song in on Spotify, 9 times out of 10 it's going to be there. And all the information about where people are playing gigs and things like that. It was so difficult when to find new music when we were younger. Oh my god, how old am I sounding? and depressing yourself. You know, you buy an LP, and the first thing you do before you even put it on, you just read the cover front to back, top to bottom. There was always loads of information, and then it went to cassettes, and you pull the cassette out and the cassette would unfold like a big booklet. And you'd read all about the band and look at all the lyrics and all the artwork, and don't get any of that with Spotify, do you? You just type it in and it plays it, or you download it. How times change. Well guys, we are just coming into a place called Invergarry. Oh, this is a lovely little town, this is. On my last Scottish tour that I did, and earlier in the year or the year before, my memory's terrible. I stopped in a hotel here. Oh, what a hotel, absolutely lovely. What a fantastic beer garden. Notice whenever I go on about hotels that I stop in, it's always because you've got a good bar or a good beer garden. But yeah, I had a lovely stay here, and I think this is one of the places where I will most probably bring the wife one time, if she's lucky, if she's good to me. Now, I think I owe it a trip out for letting me do this tour. I go away for 8 weeks at a time abroad, so when I come back, obviously she has her job to do, so sometimes we don't get to see a lot of each other while I'm back. She most probably thinks that's a good thing though. But yeah, absolutely, I think it's down here on the left hand side actually, that hotel. Yeah, this is it here. Lovely place, Invergarry Hotel. Speen Bridge we're heading towards. Now there's a place as well. I can remember when I first met my wife, we hadn't been going out with each other long. And I came on holiday to Speen Bridge, and I was still in the army. And I'd been on a 2-week exercise thing in Kiel the Woods, Kiel the Forest in the northeast, and I got back to Stoke-on-Trent where I lived, and she picked me up, and I literally had not slept for about 48 hours. She picked me up, I was still in my uniform, absolutely minging dirty. I'd still got camp cream all around my neck, because you use baby wipes to wipe your face to get it all off. And literally we'd done the final exercise, and they'd thrown us on the back of lorries, took us back to Turnhill, which is just outside Market Drayton where we were stationed. My wife picked me up there, so I hadn't had time to clean myself up or anything. I'd literally been awake for 48 hours, and we drove up to Scotland, and I think I must have slept most of the way. And we got to this place called Speen Bridge, and we had this little log cottage in the woods. It was absolutely lovely. And my wife had got us 2 big bottles of champagne. Not expensive stuff, just the cheap stuff. Those really big, like Magnum bottles. And she decided she was going to have a shower and get herself all done up. I remember just sitting on the floor in front of the fire, opening one of these bottles of champagne, and I'm not even a champagne drinker, and I just necked the whole bottle while she was in the shower. And by the time she come out, I was in a coma, I was fast asleep again, and I didn't wake up until the following morning. She went mad. But I was just so tired. I mean, when you go out on exercise, you're basically doing like a war simulation, and we just had no sleep for about 12 days. Just tugging around with like 70-80 pound on your back, digging holes and living in shell scrapes, like dirty muddy hole in the ground. Oh my word, those are the days. But I have to say, when I was in the army, it's some of the best days of my life. I went all over the world with the army. Served in Hong Kong, served in the Falkland Islands, Northern Ireland, you name it, absolutely amazing. Still keep in touch with some of the boys as well. Certainly true what they say, join the army and it will make a man of you. It gives you the belief in yourself, and it gives you a set of values that sees you through the rest of your life. And I truly believe that, and I truly stand by that. If I hadn't joined the army, God knows what would have happened to me. I'd have most probably ended up in prison. You know, guys, just touching on what I was on about earlier about these Can-Ams. If anybody's had any experience with them, please put some comments and let me know how you've gone on with them, because they're an unknown entity to me. As I mentioned in one of my other videos earlier in the week, I have done a little bit of research and they do get really good reviews. They're a Canadian company. They're supposed to be really reliable. Apparently this company, they make snowmobiles and they make small light aircraft engines. So, you know, they've got a good pedigree behind them. But I don't actually know anybody's ever had one. I've never even seen one on the road, to tell you the truth. I've seen a couple of them when I was in Dubai, and they were monstrous things. I think they were the Can-Am RS, the sports versions, and these guys just wheel spinning and burning them out up and down the street as you do in Dubai. But yeah, they're a bit of an unknown entity, but I'm really interested in them. I obviously wouldn't have the sports version, I'd have the touring one, the one that looks like a mobility mobile, you know, the Pope mobile looking one, the boring horrible one. I know they do one called Sea to Sky, and it's an absolutely lovely thing. It does look sporty, but it's a touring one as well, got all the touring luggage on and everything, and it's got everything you can think: adjustable seats, adjustable screen, heated seats, heated hand grips, TFT screen, you name it, it's got matching luggage. Absolutely fantastic thing. It's about 26 grand. There's no way I'm spending that much on one. That's pushing it for my overall budget as it is. And I've got to get a bike as well out of that. But yeah, those Sea to Sky, I love one of them. They are really nice. But I think I'm looking at the RT or the RT Limited, a second-hand one. Like I say, if you've got any experience with them, please drop me a line and let me know. Wow, look at this, everybody. Oh, that wasn't a good idea, standing up at that speed. You flipped me off backwards. I'm very aware that I may be running out of memory on the memory card. I can't remember whether I formatted it this morning or whether I still got all the footage of from the tour I was doing previous. But this morning it was that cold when I woke up in Skye. I had to put my big thick heated gloves on. The problem with those is it's really, really difficult to activate the record button on the camera. And every time I needed to record, I was having to stop the bike and look in the mirror so that I could see where the button was. I just couldn't feel it. Normally I use a remote, a GoPro remote, but it's packed up. I'll have to send it back and get a replacement. Just when I need it packs up, typical. But yeah, so I'm a little bit concerned. Wow, just look at it. I'm sorry that I'm just speechless. It just takes the words away when you look at it. It is just so beautiful. It's like a mirror, it's that calm, there's no wind or breeze or anything. I hope when I retire that I can come and live in the Highlands. It would be my dream place to retire to. It's just beautiful. But I don't know what it is about the Highlands. I was touching on it on my last video. Whenever I'm up here, it just calms me. You know, I do get really wound up with the job that I do, and sometimes it can be difficult to relax and unwind. But just coming here, it's just good for the soul. Well, I'll tell you another thing that I've seen a few times on this tour is, you know how they've changed the rules about cyclists, you know, these lycra clad imbeciles that you see dotted around the English countryside. I'll be fair, there was a lot on Skye. It must be a big place for cycling, and the majority of them were using the common sense. You know, they were riding single file and they were keeping over. But I've seen a couple where they've been riding in the middle of the road, they've been riding 2-3 abreast, you know, and they've had about 10-15 cars lined up behind them because they can't get past. And I just don't know what was going through their minds. I mean, maybe I'm the odd one out here, but I just do not understand why they changed the law to say that they can ride 2 abreast and ride in the middle of the road, you know, and have priority over cars, because it's going to get people killed in my eyes. You know, it's just absolutely crazy. And if it doesn't get people killed, it's going to end up in fisticuffs. I can see it coming, because somebody's just going to blow a fuse, get off and knock one of them out. Well, what do you think about it? You know, comment below. I think it's absolutely stupid rule. I think whoever's made that rule is most probably one of these cyclists who hates cars. Who thinks we're all the devil's spawn and we're all going to end the world due to the horrible fumes from our engines. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know that there is massive implications for global warming and everything, and I really do think that we need to take some kind of measures, do something to alleviate it. But I think with motorbikes, there's a big argument that motorbikes are an option because they emit a lot less pollution than cars. If everybody was on motorbikes, you wouldn't have the traffic jams and people just sitting in queues spewing out fumes the way you do with cars. I don't know, but I should imagine motorcycles are easier to recycle than cars. Don't quote me on that one. I'm just I'm just bluffing my case on that one. But yeah. So my word, look at that. I was just about to say I'm about to switch the camera off for a bit, and then we come around the corner and boom, just look at that. There's snow on their mountains. Oh, I know where we are. There's the marine thing, the Royal Marine Memorial. That place there, I stopped off on my last tour coming the opposite direction, and that's where I met the 2 ladies riding the Indian cruisers, and I wished I'd taken a photograph, because honestly, those cruisers, the seat height was level with my knee, and I'm not exaggerating, that's how low they were. It's like, wow, how on earth do you ride them? I'll never know. So we are heading towards Roy's Bridge. I wonder if it's Roy out of Coronation Street. I wonder if he's got a little roadside caravan selling Roy's rolls. Is Roy still in Coronation Street? I don't know. I ain't watched Coronation Street for years. What was that bird he was married to? He used to be a bloke. Haley. was going to say Haley's Comet, but it was. That's something totally different. And you know something, since this morning I went out a little jaunt around Skye, and I did about 80 miles, not that far, about in between 60 and 70 miles around Skye, and then I filled up just before I left Skye and I reset the trip. The trip is saying a further 114 miles. I can't believe I've done that much mileage today, because it feels fresh as a daisy. That is a testament to the Benelli TRK. I got stuck behind a car back there going really, really slow through the twisties. So I had to get my knee down and get past him. Now I'm going dead slow on these straight bits. He'll be catching me up and going, "Luke, you didn't get very far." But he was one of them drivers who slows right down to like crawling space at the mere sniff of a bend in the road, and then seeing us get on a straight like this, like 70-80 mile an hour. So it's like impossible to get past them. Well, not impossible, but they make it difficult, if you know what I mean. And I can never make my mind up whether they're just really bad drivers and they're that dozy they don't even know whether somebody's behind them and they're holding people up, or whether they're just rude, ignorant people and do the best not to let people pass them. I can never make my mind up which it is. I think it's most probably a mixture of both, to be honest. I don't know why, but you know, I was talking about old television programmes. Can you remember the Monarch of the Glen? Do you remember that? It was that posh dude who inherited this big mansion, and he was always hankering after some blonde piece who lived in the village. Yeah, me personally, he used to have some brunette bird working for him. What was her name? Oh, she looked great in a pair of jeans. Lexi, I think her name was. Don't know where I pulled that one from. I always thought he was barking up the wrong tree going after the blonde bit. He should have stuck with that Lexi. Oh my god, I'm showing my age. Well, I've been on this road before as well, many years ago. Not on a motorbike though, I think I was in Luke, this is what I was meaning about these idiots. At least they did get in single file. If they hadn't got in single file, that would have pissed me off. There's just no need for it. God, I hope there's nobody who watches the channel who are cyclists. No doubt I've lost a few subscriptions if there are. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, guys, please subscribe. You don't get bombarded with emails, you get no contact from me whatsoever, you're not signing up for, you know, a payment or anything like that. All it does, it just helps the YouTube channel out. The more people that subscribe and press the like button, the more my videos will be put to the forefront of the queue of when you switch your YouTube on and it shows you recommended videos. That's all it does. It just helps the channel to get noticed and lets more people get the chance of discovering the channel and watching it. So please guys, please subscribe. It doesn't cost anything, it takes literally 10 seconds of your life. No, a lot of people, I get a lot of views on my channel, and only a very small amount of you are actually subscribed. Okay guys and girls, so I'm just coming up to the junction on the A9. I think this is Dalwhinnie, I'm not sure, but I've just seen, I can see the A9 now. So this is a really boring road, so I'm going to wrap it up here. I'd just like to say thank you very much everybody who's kept faith with the channel. It's really appreciated, and there's going to be lots more coming up on the channel, so keep your eyes peeled, keep revisiting the channel for more videos. and I'd just like to say a big thank you to all of you. So everybody ride safe out there. All that's left to say is Bike Rider Reviews out.